So you hear two totally different stories about the future of work, right? On one side, it's all economic anxiety and talk of a big slowdown. And on the other, you hear about this explosive tech growth with jobs of the future just popping up out of nowhere. So, what's the real story? What does the job market in 2026 actually look like for you? Well, let's break it down.
This right here is the puzzle we're going to solve today. You've got businesses playing it safe, worried about high costs and finding people with the right skills. And at the exact same time, you've got this incredible gold rush happening in tech where some jobs are expected to more than double. So, how can both of those things be true? That's what we're here to figure out.
Okay, so before we can find the real opportunities, we first have to understand the ground conditions. Let's start with the big picture. What's the economic climate that companies are dealing with right now? A massive survey of over 41,000 businesses revealed something really interesting. You'd think their biggest headache would be the competition, right? But nope. Their top concerns are actually way more fundamental. We're talking high labor costs, a ton of regulations, and this nagging problem of not being able to find enough skilled workers. That's the tough reality on the ground. I love this quote. It's just perfect. Think of the economy as the soil for your career. And yeah, maybe that soil is a little rocky and tough right now, but knowing that is everything, because it tells you exactly what kind of seeds are going to thrive and where you can find the most fertile ground for your own growth. So, let's talk about those seeds, because even with that challenging economic soil, some jobs are just sprouting up at an incredible rate. Let's get into the hard data. Just look at this number, 110%. That's the projected growth for the single fastest growing job between now and 2030. Any guesses what it could be? Take a shot. And there it is. Big data specialists are at the top of the list with that mind-blowing 110% growth. And it makes perfect sense, right? When the economy is uncertain, companies have to make smarter decisions. And how do they do that? With data. And look at the rest of the list. It all tells the same story. The pattern is crystal clear. The future belongs to people who can work with data, build smart systems, and keep our digital world safe. So here's the big takeaway. This isn't just a random list of jobs. It's a huge trend. The world has this urgent, almost desperate need for people who get this stuff, people who can build, manage, and secure our digital lives. This is where the real opportunity is if you're looking to build a career that's going to last. Okay, so we know the jobs. We see where the growth is. But what about you? What specific skills do you need to actually land one of these roles? What are the tools you should be putting in your career toolkit right now? Think of this as your roadmap to a high-income career. The most valuable skills for 2026 line up almost perfectly with those fast-growing jobs we just looked at. We're talking AI and machine learning, data science, software development, cybersecurity, and cloud computing. Seriously, mastering any one of these skills puts you squarely on the fast track. And this slide just lays it out so clearly. On the left, you've got the job of the future. And on the right, the exact skill that gets you there. It's a straight line. You invest in learning the right skill, and you unlock one of these incredible, high-paying opportunities. It's that direct. Now, let's get to the final piece of this puzzle. Let's talk about the one technology that's changing everything. The one that's both a huge threat and an absolutely massive opportunity. Just think about it for a second. For decades, we've seen tech disrupt factories and manufacturing. But what's different now? What's the one thing that's shaking up the entire service industry, which is, the biggest part of our economy? You know the answer. It's artificial intelligence. This quote absolutely nails it. See, old school automation mostly changed how we make physical things. But AI is different. It's affecting knowledge work, creativity, customer service, the very heart of the modern economy. And that means its power to disrupt and to create totally new kinds of value is just off the charts. Economists are still trying to figure out how to even measure the full impact of AI, but we all feel it. Think about the value of having a free GPS in your pocket, or being able to video call your family halfway across the world for next to nothing. That's what's called consumer surplus. Well, AI is putting that idea on steroids, creating tools and services that were basically science fiction a few years ago. And guess what? Every single one of those new services needs smart people to build and run it. So where does that leave us? On one hand, you've got a cautious economy. On the other, an absolute explosion of opportunity driven by tech. And in the middle of it all is AI, this force that's rewriting the rules for everybody. The way forward isn't about finding some safe job anymore. It's about constantly learning and adapting. So the only question that really matters is the one right here. How are you going to invest in yourself?